Welcome to another episode of Brazilian Kitchen. Today I'm gonna make a bar favorite of all times, cod fritters, or how we call it, bolinho de bacalhau. There's not much that I can say other than this is amazing. You guys should try, you guys should go to Brazil and order this at a bar. You guys will not regret. This is amazing, I guarantee you guys. And also very simple to do. So before we get to the recipe, I just wanted to thank my friend Hugo because he got me this amazing apron. So thank you very much, Hugo. I appreciate it a lot. And if any of my friends is watching this and you want to send me gifts, feel free to do that as well. First step, we're gonna put the potatoes into boiling water and we're gonna cook it until it's soft enough so we can mash it to make it our dough for the cod fritters. It's important that you guys boil the potatoes with the skin on, because this way it's gonna absorb the least amount of water possible, and this is a good thing because if there's too much water it's gonna break once you fry it. So keep the skin on. After you boil it, you take the skin off. And I'm using red potatoes here. You guys can use whatever potatoes you find, but I chose this red potato because it's the least amount of water in potatoes, and I realize it's not that easy to find, but if you guys find this is better than the regular potatoes. So feel free to use whatever you want, but know the risks. After we put the potatoes on the water, we're gonna cook our fish. So I'm gonna have all the ingredients here. So I'm gonna use right now onions, garlic, and the fish itself. So I'm gonna put some olive oil on the pan. So as you guys might know, codfish was brought into Brazil by the Portuguese, and they used to bring it very salty, as that was the only way that they could stand the trip from Portugal, from Europe to Brazil. So in Brazil, since codfish is a cold water fish, the only way we can find it is either frozen or salty. So we're gonna use olive oil, which is a must in Portuguese cuisine, instead of butter, which is my preferred method of cooking. And we're gonna fry everything here. This is also a good way to start to shred the fish, so it makes it easier for you in the end, right? Let's put the onion into it. And remember, always put the onion before the garlic, because the garlic, it burns so much faster than the onion. Let's add the garlic now. Now that the garlic has been here for a little while, we're gonna start adding the codfish. So once you start adding the codfish, you're gonna see that some water is gonna drain out of it. That's alright, just keep the codfish on the fire and will eventually dry out, so that's expected. As you guys can see, as the fish starts to cook, it starts to fall apart. So it starts to break, and this is exactly the way we want it to be. So just keep doing this and keep stirring the pan, and it will be just in the right texture, the right format that we want for our cod fritters. There's no water left in here anymore, so I'm just gonna take it out of the fire and I'm gonna let it cool for a while. I get the potatoes mashed in order to prepare the dough. So now let's peel the potatoes before we mash them. I'm gonna use a towel because the potatoes are very hot, so be careful when you guys are doing this. If you guys watched the last video on caldo verde, remember I didn't have a masher, so I had to use a fork. But this time I'm better prepared, so I'm gonna use a potato masher to make things easier for me. So after you mashed all the potatoes, you're gonna put the codfish into the mix. And now we're gonna add seasoning to it. So we're gonna add the parsley that you saw, black pepper, salt, whatever you guys want. This is the time to add. Now that we have everything we need here, let's get hands-on, or how you'd say in Portuguese, mãos à massa. Now that you mixed everything together, you can try. Everything here is cooked and see if it has enough salt or if you have to correct it. My director just said that I could also add a little more pepper, so I'm gonna put it a bit more. Now that I added the pepper, let's try it again and see how it is. Much better now. I made a test here and the dough was breaking too much, like this. So I'm gonna add an egg yolk here in order to make everything more glued together. Otherwise, it will break when I start to fry them. Let me show you guys. And like I said, hands-on again. After adding the second yolk, I feel like the dough is much more firm and it won't break. And this way, you guys can fry them and it will not break on your pan. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this the traditional way, which is with 2 spoons. But I don't find it very practical. Maybe because I don't have enough practice, but I'm gonna show you anyway, and then I'm gonna make the rest of the fritters with my own hands. So you just grab a bunch of dough with a spoon, and then you start passing one spoon to the other until it has the right format. You see, I don't have enough practice, so after it's all said and done, I have here 32 fritters. Of course, that's too much for just 2 people. So I'm gonna give some to my friends. I'm gonna freeze them, and tomorrow I'm gonna give some to them. And later I'm gonna post it on Instagram as well, how they like the fritters. So if you guys are not subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. And be sure to activate the notifications so you won't miss any updates. So let's add the oil to the pans. If you guys have an air fryer, that's fine as well. It works and it's much more healthier. But I don't have one, so I'm gonna use the good old oil. So guys, the oil is heating up right now. But in order for you to know if it's hot enough, we're just gonna add a small piece of the dough here and see if it starts to fry. And this is very important because if the oil is not hot enough, the fritter is gonna be drowned in oil. And once you get it to eat it, you're gonna feel all the oil coming off of it. And that's not a good feeling. So be sure that the oil is hot enough. And don't add too much fritters into the oil at once, because then the oil temperature is gonna go down. I'm gonna add at 3 at a time. So 3 fritters into the pan, and then I take it off, and then 3 more, okay? The oil has been here for a while, so now I'm gonna test with a smaller dough. As you guys saw, the oil was not hot enough because the dough didn't go up after. So I'm just gonna wait a bit longer before I put the second tester. Now the oil is much better. You can see all the bubbles that are starting to form. So I'm just gonna wait until this piece is brown, and then like a golden brown. And then I'm gonna add the other 3 ones. So guys, everything's ready, and as always, this is the best part of my day. So I'm gonna try the bolinhos. I'm gonna put a little bit of lime juice in here. This is amazing. Guys, look at this. If you guys like hot food, this goes extremely well. So I'm gonna put myself some pepper, and you guys can do the same because this is amazing. Guys, this is the end of another episode of Brazilian Kitchen. I hope you guys have enjoyed as much as I have, because this was amazing. I hope you guys do this recipe at home. Let me know how it went, and até logo!